What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. In today's video we are checking out the latest scooter from Turboant. The one that I have here today is called the X7 Pro. This is a scooter that has a removable battery, so we have the battery right here. You can easily remove this and you can replace it. On one charge, according to the manufacturer, you can get up to 48 kilometers of range. Now we'll talk more about that later on in the video. The top speed for this scooter is 32 kilometers an hour, depending on the region where you're buying this. And this scooter is powered by a 350 watt motor that's in the front wheel. And I guess we're going to start with a super quick unboxing just so I can show you what kind of box this comes in. So with this one, when you take it out of the box, you don't really need to do any assembly. You can just take it out of the box and go riding. This is one of the lightest scooters that I've tried as well. So this weighs about 15 kilos and you can also fold this. So we have the folding mechanism right here. This goes down like this and then you can fold it and carry it. So pretty easy. Once you're done carrying it, you basically push down on the rear fender. So the rear fender kind of acts like a latch for it. Then you're gonna put this back up and you lock it in place. So that simple. The scooter has 10-inch inflatable tires on the front and on the back here. So even though we don't have a front or rear suspension, whenever you go over bumps or rough terrain, the ride is pretty smooth because of those tires. Of course, you can make those harder or softer depending how you like riding. On the back here, we have a disc brake. This is kind of like the only brake available, even though the manufacturer says that whenever you're pressing the brake lever, the scooter will also brake the front wheel, but in my experience it doesn't really feel like the front wheel brakes. So I've noticed that whenever I go downhill and I go pretty fast, whenever I brake, the braking power isn't that great. So I can go as far as saying that the braking power on this scooter is kind of the worst from all the scooters that I've had up until now. So this scooter definitely needs another brake on the front. Okay, so I'm not sure if the microphone is still connected. If it is, you heard me. If not, no. So I'll ride as fast as it can go and will also brake when you get close. So about here. See what I mean about the braking power is not that great. That rear wheel just locks as soon as you get on the brakes. So not the best braking out there. On the back fender here, the fender is made out of plastic. We also have a light, so you can keep the lights on or off whenever you're riding. This is bright enough to be seen in direct sunlight, so during the day, of course, you're gonna see it much better at night. And this also acts as a brake light, so whenever you're braking here, that light on the back will flash. The kickstand is also on the left-hand side of the scooter. This is made out of combination of plastic and metal. The tip is made out of plastic, and that's good because it's not gonna scratch the floors in your house. Now, this is not the best kickstand that I've seen on a scooter, but I guess for this scooter, because it's pretty light, it works okay. The footrest here, I guess that's the footrest or the foot stand, whatever you want to call this, is covered by rubber. So your feet don't slip, but this is pretty small. So if you have big feet like me, it is a bit challenging to fit both your feet on it. So I wish it would have been a bit wider. As I mentioned earlier, the battery pack on this is removable. So you could technically buy another battery pack for it and then you can keep riding for extended periods of time. It takes about 6 hours to charge this with a charger that comes in the box. Now for range, the manufacturer says that you can get up to 48 kilometers on one charge, but in reality you're not going to get more than 30 kilometers, mostly if you ride uphill, if you're heavier like me. So it depends on a lot of factors if you're going to be able to get close to that 48 kilometers, but in my experience I got around 30 kilometers on one charge. Moving on to the handlebar. So the handlebar on this scooter is a bit smaller than most other scooters that I've tried in the past. So whenever you're on it, you do feel a bit cramped. Now on the bright side, the handlebar doesn't make any noises. The grips here don't move around, so that's definitely good. On the left hand side here, we have the brake lever. As I said earlier, we only have one brake on the back. We have the bell right here. Then we have a screen in the center. The screen will show you how much battery you have and the speed that you're currently doing. And of course you can switch modes and you can see the mode right there on the screen. On the right hand side here we have the accelerator and we also have the power button and like a menu mode button, I'm gonna say. So overall a pretty simple scooter. Even though the screen here is fairly small, you can still see this in direct sunlight. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to be able to show you on the camera, but with your own eyes, you can definitely see it even in direct sunlight. So you can see your speed at all times. Oh, and I also forgot to mention earlier, we also have cruise control. So if you hold the accelerator pressed for a few seconds, the scooter will kind of go into the cruise control mode. To stop the cruise control, you either touch the brake or touch the accelerator again. On the front here, we also have the headlight. You can turn on or off the lights, of course. Whenever you turn on the headlight, the rear light will come on as well. And this is pretty bright, so you can still see this even during the day. So if you have it on, cars will see you a bit easier. And at night, it's powerful enough so you can light up the way ahead of you. So depending where you buy the scooter, the top speed for it will be different. So here in Europe, this is limited to 25 kilometers an hour, but I'm assuming if you buy this in North America, then the top speed on it is 32 kilometers an hour. So it really depends where you buy it. Now, if you're riding on a flat surface, you can reach that 25 kilometers, no problem. But if you're going uphill, you're not going to be even close to that 25 kilometers an hour. And talking about riding uphill, well, the performance from this scooter is not that great. I can probably go as far as saying that this is the worst and most underpowered scooter that I got to try up until now. So even though we have a 350 watt motor on the front there, you just don't feel that power. And if you're going uphill, most of the time the scooter will stop, mostly with someone like me that's heavier. If you're lighter than me, of course, the scooter will go a bit faster and a bit more up that hill. But for me personally, this scooter doesn't do great up hills. So overall, the build quality on this scooter is pretty good, mostly compared to all the other scooters that I got to try in the past. I like the fact that it doesn't really make any noises when you go over bumps or rough terrain. Of course, that has a lot to do with those 10-inch inflatable tires that we have, because they will suck up a bunch of that rough terrain, if I may say that. Other scooters like this one, for example, do make a lot of noise when you go over rough terrain. Well, that's not the case with this one. Now, the braking power on this is not great. It's probably one of the worst that I got to try up until now. And even though we have a 350 watt motor in that front wheel, it doesn't feel like it has that much power. So it feels underpowered most of the time. So I feel that for the price, because this is fairly expensive as well, for the price there are better choices out there. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. This was the Turboant X7 Pro, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.